All right, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Just wait a minute here, see who jumps on. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good week. All right. How's everybody's week going? It is Friday. It's time for your HMG weekly wrap up. And if you jump on and watch this at any point, jump on and say hello. Let me know how your week's going. And we're going to get this thing started here in just a second. Make sure I had it all. I thought I had everything up here, but so listen. If you jump on, say good morning. Happy Friday! It is time for your HMG weekly wrap up. I am going to talk about a few things that happened this week, and then we're going to get into what happened with the shows this week. We're going to welcome a few new shows, and yeah, it's going to be great. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if you're watching. All right, so I'm gonna get started. And this week was a great week. A great week. Not your average operator. Good morning. Good morning. It's funny that you guys are on because I'm getting ready to talk about you guys. So earlier this week, it was Sunday, I believe. Yeah, Sunday. I got a phone call. Last week I got a phone call saying that not your average operator. Some of the guys were going to be in town or in the area and down at DC. So I jumped on that opportunity to go down and meet them. And I met up with Mike and Paul and his beautiful family. And I got to tell you, I enjoy doing what we do at Heroes Media Group, and I love working with the shows and the people behind the shows, and it was really cool. So I've known these guys for about a year. We've never met face to face, and apparently Mike and Paul have never met face to face. So it was like the first time meeting, and it was awesome. The only regret that I have is I couldn't stay longer. We had a family thing planned that night, so my son and I drove down to DC, hung out for a couple hours, and I got to meet Mike and had a great conversation. I got to meet Paul and his beautiful family, his wife and kids. They came all the way across from the Middle East to come to the United States, and it was just one of those. I was smiling the entire ride home because it was when we were all hanging out. It felt like family. It was kind of like a mini family reunion, and Paul, Mike, thank you so much for making my day on Sunday. It was awesome finally meeting up with you guys and whatnot. And Paul and his family are still traveling a little bit, so I hope you guys have safe travels and enjoy your next destination. Where you guys are going to, I know you guys are going down to see family. So thank you again for that, guys. Absolutely loved it. Also, this week, spent some time, took the boy down. Wednesday night, we went down to Worth It Hollow, and my son got to see the equine uh, kind of therapy stuff that they do down there, and the horsemanship stuff. In fact, I'm rocking my buddy John Beachel. He's been on the Decision Hour show before, and John, this is John's shirt, horsemanship. He teaches his own style of horsemanship, and if I can get my ass turned around here, I don't know if you can see the back, not really, but it says you can't be that easy, and that's kind of his catch, his catchphrase is it can't be that easy. And John makes things look very easy when working with these beautiful animals. And it's not just about working with horses. It's so much more than that because a lot of it ties into life lessons and just dealing with people as well. What do we have here? It was great to see you, brother. Oh man, hey, listen, you guys are gonna. I'm gonna start getting the feels here live. You can't be doing that. I love you guys. Not your average operator. Thanks, brothers. I appreciate it. Mm. I hope everybody's having some morning coffee. If you need some coffee, make sure you check out our sponsor, HMG Beverage. You can simply go to hmgbeverage.com or HMG Coffee and get yours today. All right. Moving on. I know, shameless plug. Moving on. Let's get started with. We're going to get started with the shows this week, and I'm going to start it off with the Decision Hour. This week, I carried on with the Let's Have a Conversation series. And this week's episode was called My Solution. And this was a big one here. My solution really means you, the listener, you, the viewer. If you're not a fan of what's going on in the world today, you have to ask yourself two questions. One is, what part did you play in it? And two, what can you do to change it? And if you don't like the answers that you come up with, then the nice thing is that you still have time to do stuff about it. We talk about what's going on in the United States right now. We talk about how the government is playing a role in misinformation and what we, the people, should be doing. We reference back to last week's episode of the founding principles, and so you kind of have a baseline of where to start. Tanya, good morning, dear. Thank you for tuning in. But think about it this way. This was a very interesting point that got brought up in this week's episode was the government or governments between the state and the federal accounts for over 50% of our economy right now. And that's somewhere in the neighborhood of roughly 20 million people. That's a rough number. Okay, so don't quote me on the actual. That's not the actual number, but that's an approximate. 20 million people make up that work for the government. So, is that a good thing or a bad thing when you think about it that way? And one of the questions that I asked in this episode was, should the government be in the business of surveilling the United States citizens? This again, and I can actually hear people's blood boiling as you're watching and listening to this. It's very confrontational, this subject and the series that we're doing. But the purpose again of this series of Let's Have a Conversation is just that we're giving you some information. It might not match information that you see on mainstream media, but what we want to do is get people to sit down and have these conversations. And do it in a manner where you're not, people aren't getting offended, brushing people off, et cetera, et cetera. So let's sit down and have these conversations. Lisa, good morning. Appreciate you being here. Gabe, thanks, brother, for being here. No, absolutely not. Yeah. That's one. This is again, and what I'm really hoping to do with this series. My friend John is on here with me on these series, and John's was a history major, and we're bringing up a lot of stuff. And again, it's not to persuade you one way or the other. It's simply giving you information that I know that you're not seeing on mainstream media, at least not all of it. And then sitting down and having those conversations and being able to come up with your own conclusion, so to speak. Okay, so yeah, Gabe, right? Yeah, I hear you, brother. So check that out. That's this week's the Decision Hour. Make sure you check out last week's show as well, the Founding Principles. That gives you kind of a baseline. And please share these because I'm getting kind of shadowed on social media with some of these topics, and we're trying to push them out so people can at least listen and hopefully come to the table with stuff. All right, next up, we're moving on. Next up, we got the Power of Investing in People podcast with our good friend Shay Sparks. She's pumping out 2 shows a week. The first show this week, she has special guest Ed Francis, Air Force veteran in the mental health arena to, let's see here, become a drum coach. And then Ed shares his drumming journey. They laugh, they swap stories around while they're playing with the drums, which was actually really cool. And then he shares his philosophy on the importance of creativity and trusting yourself with that inner dialogue that some people might have. So check that out. That's the first one. Great show. And then Shay has a series called Fire Starters. And this week episode was special guest Chief Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force. He's a fellow podcaster. He's an adjunct professor, and he's a really solid dude, Joe Bogdan. So make sure you check this week's episodes of the Power of Investing in People podcast. They're great episodes this week. It's awesome. Next up, moving on, the Carry On podcast. This week, special guest Rachel Brumrit is the guest, and she is a medical safety expert at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and a communication lead for the American Society of a very long word that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. She's also a writer for Med Shadow and Drug Watch. She's become nationally recognized advocate for the voiceless. With her personal experiences with medical harm, domestic violence, and sexual assault, she's turned pain into purpose by founding Courage to Continue in January 2020, whose mission is to empower individuals to overcome trauma and encourage social change through provoking films, public service announcements, and public speaking. This was a really cool one as well. Lance, good morning. Hey, you made it this morning. I appreciate you getting here on time, buddy. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Listen, I appreciate y'all jumping on. Stay with me here. So, very interesting Carry On podcast this week. So check that out. We only got a few more left here. Stay with me. Next up, we got the Arms Room. Arms Room show this week. Very, very serious topic. Why you should not kill yourself and other helpful tips for life. This stuff's real simple, and a lot of people listen. Here's the first thing. Let me put this out there. If you are thinking of potentially hurting yourself, you get help. Call help. You get whether you're a veteran or a non-veteran. If you need help, call us. Email us. Get in contact with us. Contact your friend. Always have a battle buddy, because regardless of what's going on in your life, if you think it sucks, it's not as bad as it may seem ever. And there's always somebody there that cares. That I promise you. And if you don't think there is, contact Heroes Media Group, because we will certainly listen. So, let's see our part here. All right, next up. So that was the Arms Room show. Very serious topic this week. A lot of helpful tips for life. So check that out. Next up, we got Time to Shine Today. Welcome back, Fergie. It's about time. And I hope somebody, if you don't see that, I hope somebody shares that little section of this video with you, man. No, Scott, I love Scott. Great guy. Time to Shine today. He's back. And this week, he has a relationship anxiety coach who helps people go from doubting whether they've chosen the right partner to committing with confidence while staying true to themselves. This is another really good episode and very eye opening with a great topic. So well done. Check that out this week's Time to Shine today. All right, next up we got Not Your Average Operator. Here's the thing. Check back later tonight. This week they are doing episode 3 of their series, Choices in Stressful Scenarios. So that show will be up either later today or first thing in the morning. Probably later today. We should have that show up. So stay tuned for that because this is another great one. They've done this series the last couple weeks of stressful scenarios, and you do not want to miss this one as they cap off the end of that series with this episode. So check that out. Stay tuned for that. Next up, we got Ubaldi reports. The guys are talking about Cuba, and they got one titled "We Are Ready to Rumble." I didn't listen to the "We Are Ready to Rumble." The Cuba one was a good one, so check that out. That's this week's Ubaldi reports. Next up, we got On the Blue Line podcast. Great episode this week as he has special guest, the Yoga Cop. Amy is a writer, a public speaker, yoga and mindfulness instructor, conscious leader, and a police officer. Community hero, right? Amy is on a mission to assist other first responders and healthcare workers in staying well by using mindfulness movement to help rewire the nervous system and shift out of the stress response. This was a really, really cool episode. So make sure you check this one out on the Blue Line podcast with our buddy Wayne. So great episode. Next up, for all you sports fanatics out there, the S3, JD gives his final thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks coming back from a 2-0 deficit to win the NBA Finals. It was crazy finals this year. Plus, he's continuing on with the NFL division by division breakdown. This week, JD covers the NFC North. Who's the top quarterback? Who's the best running back? Who's the best wide receiver? Best defense? And who his overall predictions for the season in the NFC North is going to be. So check that out. Any NFC North fans out there, you don't want to miss this. So check it out. That is the S3. Let's see here. Lance, what are you saying here, Lance? Closest I got to it. Lance has got jokes this morning. All right, another good one this week, guys. Hey, check out We Got Your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. Every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. They go live on their Facebook page, the People's Patriot Project. Make sure you check them out. This past week, they had Carolyn Martin, who is the runner-up for the Miss Veteran USA and an advocate for homeless female veterans. So check this out. This was a really good episode. Pulled on the heartstrings a little bit. Great job, People's Patriot Project. Next up, we have lost my spot. There we go. Dose of Did You Know from Devoted to a Soldier. A lot more episodes coming out. Check out Devoted to a Soldier. Follow them on Facebook because they do a lot of lives and whatnot. So A Dose of Did You Know. It's a great episode. Check that out. Also, War Hero to Superhero. Another show that's coming out with a bunch of more, episodes. We're in final production with those, so we'll have those up here hopefully soon. Also, we have Get in the Flow. Check back this weekend as Kaylin comes in and talks about marketing for your business and so forth. So that is Get in the Flow. What'd I miss? I didn't miss anything. I did miss it. 2 new shows. Oh, that's what I want to talk about next. two new shows. We have Environmentally Speaking, so make sure you welcome them. Check them out. It's all about it was an attorney who is up in Rhode Island and talks about environmental law, and makes it very interesting, quite frankly. And then 9/11 Remembered. We You probably remember, those of you that have been following us for a while, we were going to launch this show last year, and some stuff came up and it wasn't able to do so. So we are in the final stages of production for the first season of that, and we're hoping to launch that here August 1st. So stay tuned for that. That's 9/11 Remembered as well. Lance, what do you got here? Oh, yes. So Lance brings up a good point. Listen, there's a lot more veterans running for Congress, and uh, in the past, Graham Allen is one. Is he in Texas or Louisiana? I forget, but Graham Allen is one, and then Eli Crane from Bottle Breacher down in Arizona. Great salt of the earth kind of guy. You just you can't say enough nice things about either one of those guys. Quite frankly, I've had the privilege of meeting them both and spend a little bit of time with them, and great individuals. But Lance, thanks for bringing that up. That's actually a good point to bring up. And I think I'm predicting over the next several years, you're probably going to see more and more veterans get involved with Congress and the Senate, and just overall, you know, in the politics realms as well. Mr. Krotech, John, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for jumping on. We definitely need more vets in politics. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. There's a lot of things that need to happen from the political side of things, and you know, I think veterans are at a point right now where we can, you know, make a shift. So, uh, most are former operators. Yeah, a lot of them are. Uh, Nice boat. Thanks, John. Yeah, this is Tanya. What do we call? Oh, bow tie Friday. That's what we call this, bow tie Friday. Well, listen. Let me say that. And if you guys got comment, keep bringing in the comments while you guys are thinking about what to say. I'm gonna shout out to our sponsors real quick. 2A Republic. Uh, if you go to 2A Republic and purchase one of their shirts, you get a 10% off every purchase when you use promo code HMG. Simper Savage, Savage Nation, absolutely love these guys. John actually, John Curry actually co-hosts the Decision Hour series that we're doing right now. Let's have a conversation. Go check out Simper Savage. They have the best marinade and salad dressings on the planet. It's absolutely amazing. Short Mountain Distillery, Billy, David, you guys, absolutely love you guys over there. Short Mountain is one of the partners for our sister company, HMG Beverage, which we hopefully will be able to make some announcements here in the next couple weeks. HMG Beverage, another sponsor, our sister company. They got a bunch of stuff that they're doing right now. But right now, if you want coffee, go get your coffee. You get 10% off if you sign up for a monthly subscription. So simply go to hmgbeverage.com, or you can go to hmgcoffee.com and get some of our delicious blends over there. Attica Systems, Digital Trigger, Rick's Roasters, the ones that make the coffee. We love them. My tax fella, I cannot say enough good things about Anthony and all the good stuff that he does over for us in bookkeeping, and he keeps our taxes. It keeps me out of trouble, quite frankly. It keeps me out of trouble. And then we have First Praetorian, another nonprofit organization that's just doing God's work. They're doing a lot of great things. Andrew, good morning to you. And I gotta get, since Andrew jumped on, Andrew's a solid brother over in Tennessee. A godly man, is just an amazing individual. Andrew started a podcast here recently himself. We're probably going to bring them onto the network here pretty soon, hopefully. So yeah, Andrew, I just put it out there like that. So Um, yeah, that's really it. That's wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Absolutely love everybody. Um, what has everybody got planned this week? I'll take just 1 minute here to see if there's anything anybody wants to discuss. And since I brought that up, listen, if there is stuff that you want to discuss or you want me to talk about on the show, send me a DM, email. You can email me, email the or DM the HMG Facebook page. Whatever. It's reach out to us. Reach out to me and let me know what it is that you would like to discuss. I'm going to be doing some rearranging here in the next month or so. We're going to have product placements and stuff like that when I'm doing this stuff. So if you have a product that you would like me to give a shout out to, by all means, let me know. We can work that out definitely. So let's see here. That's it. So with that being said, I'm not seeing any new comments. I appreciate all of you that are tuning in. Let me see here. New show is coming soon. John, new show working on the detail. Yes, we're all looking forward to that, John. Please keep us in the loop with your new show. And go those of you that use like directories and whatnot. Go check out Green Zone Hero. There's a great directory of businesses that honor freedom, and a lot of great businesses that John has worked with over the years over at Green Zone. So check that out. Tanya, you too. Thank you. I always appreciate you coming on and saying good morning, hello. So, all right, folks, listen. That's all the time that we have today. If you got any questions, comments, cries of outrage, drop me a DM. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you all for being in here. Have a great Friday. God bless you. God bless America. And I will see you all next week.